you with us, Kira. We'll get on to the comments in a few moments, but firstly, you're in Kyiv. What's the situation been like there in the last few days? Just give our viewers, if you can, a slight understanding of what it's like to kind of live under these attacks.
Hello, Gareth, and thank you so much for having me. I think the best explanation would be that yesterday I was driving with my friend and he was driving very slowly, and I asked why. And he said, look around. All of the people that are driving right now didn't have at least 2 nights of sleep, and they are right now trying to do the best in the situation. But we all need to be careful and we need to be patient with each other. For the last 3 nights that we have spent in the bomb shelters, we have experienced once again the devastating attacks. And when you're sitting under the stairs, when you're hiding, then you hear the explosion. And then you start looking online where the explosion hit and messaging to your loved ones or your relatives or anyone who you know around there, hoping that they will reply to you that they are okay. This is the reality on the ground in Ukraine. And we do not see any end to this, because what we hear from the White House is that President Trump still has some illusions that Russia wants peace. We have not seen any single real fact that would support this illusion. And we just hope that it will not last for longer. How many more Ukrainian children need to die to prove to President Trump that Putin doesn't want peace?
Do you feel worse off, more insecure, less supported under President Trump than you did under President Biden?
We feel very insecure right now because we don't know if there will be new military aid. And Gareth, if there is one thing that is worse than sitting in a bomb shelter, is to be thinking if the brave men and women who are trying to take down all those missiles and drones, if they have enough of the points and of the ammunition to use against those missiles and drones, or are they trying to hold off a little bit to preserve some of the resources that they have. And this is why we all feel very insecure, because there is no upcoming military package that we know of to come. And that at some point we may be helpless against Russian ballistic missiles that they keep sending our way.
The US president in the past few hours has been fairly stern in his condemnation of Vladimir Putin. He said that Putin had gone, I quote, absolutely crazy. What do you make of those comments, and what's your view of Vladimir Putin?
We hope that the promise of President Trump to achieve peace through strength, that we were very hopeful with, that finally he will stop trying to appease Putin, negotiate with Putin, talk about Putin's respect, etc., 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 and move to really 2 things that actually worked: putting economic pressure on Russia so they would not be able to manufacture drones and missiles, and arming Ukraine the way that we can defend ourselves and push Russia back. This is a reality that needs to happen, and we just hope that there has been enough time, enough proofs, enough deaths for President Trump to finally realize what needs to happen next. And we have done everything by the book. Really, we have done everything that we were asked to prove that Ukraine is not on the way of peace, that Russia is the problem here, and we just don't know what else needs to happen. So in the White House, this understanding will settle and will not be some kind of news that Putin is crazy and Russia is concentrated on killing people. We have learned it 3.5 years ago and 11 years when the war started. So this is very painful, what is happening right now.
There was hundreds of drones and missiles. 12 people were killed, dozens more injured, 3 dead, including a child in Kyiv, 2 people injured in Zaporizhia. It goes on. It was the largest overnight attack since the war began. And in the last few moments, the Kremlin is claiming that it struck military targets in response, it says, to Ukrainian strikes on Russian civilian targets. It strikes me that's a very hard argument to make when a child has been killed, for example. But what do you say in response to those kind of claims from the Kremlin?
The response is very simple. Russia lies, and they have been lying since the beginning of the full-scale invasion, since the beginning of the war, about the reasons why they started the war and the attacks. And everything else that you hear from them is a lie. We have been very open with all our international partners, inviting them here and honestly showing them what's happening on the ground. By this moment, I don't think there is a single question about the attacks that Russia is making, that they are attacking civil infrastructure and civil homes, again, killing Ukrainian children, about Russia's motives or about any of their statements. There is no way to continue believing them. And if there is anyone in the world who still believes what Russia is saying, they can just check the facts. And that will be the best counter-argument possible.
Joining us live from Kyiv at 12:30 local time there, Kira Rudik. Good to have you with us. Thank you.